Hello, Guilty Feminists. Now, this is a very special bonus Christmas episode, and it's brought to you by Sainsbury's, and it is something to savour. I invited some of my favourite Guilty Feminists and yours around for a festive dinner party. I hadn't seen them in ages, so it was lovely to have us all tucking in to the delicious Sainsbury's Christmas range. Yes, they sponsored it. They cooked for us. It is a Christmas stocking of a show, a Christmas cracker of a show. You're going to find out about all of our Guilty Feminist regulars' relationship with Santa Claus, Christmas disasters and Christmas traditions, and some brilliant conversation about all our varied Christmas traditions. We've all come from different religious backgrounds, so we've got a different relationship with Christmas, which I thought was really, really nice. Join us for our Christmas I'm a Feminist Butts, brought to you by Sainsbury's. All right, so this is our Guilty Feminist Christmas party. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm a huge fan of Christmas.
Are you?
I'm a
huge Guilty Feminist fan.
That goes without saying. Goes without saying.
Yeah, I mean, I am very traditional Christmas because it's very Danish. And like anyone in the diaspora, you become very conservative. And my husband has lived outside Denmark for 20 years. And so we have these super traditional Danish Christmases where Danes in Copenhagen are like, wait, what?
We don't do that anymore.
And I'm like, oh, I still do that. And they're like, you still do that? And I'm like, yeah, I still do that because I take home Christmas very seriously.
So what
It's
kind of
funny
traditions?
because you get like expats that have gone to live in places like Tenerife that are more patriotic.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
In a mixture of good and bad ways. Than in the area.
But Christmas is only ever good.
Yes,
So it's very warm and fuzzy. So it's very, and this Christmas, you open the door of our house around Christmas, and you know what? You are flooded. What you have to drown in is what? Hygge.
Yeah.
Drown in hygge. It's
I
terrible.
remember that.
Yes.
Everyone was on about Hygge.
Hygge,
It's
yeah.
that special warm feeling, cozy indoor feeling. So love Christmas. I love being here. Oh, I'm so excited.
I do feel a zhuzh of Christmasiness being here. First zhuzh of the year.
Yes, this is my first Christmas
sprinkle.
celebration of the year.
Yes.
And it's really lovely because I feel like this year has flown by. And last year we had this really sad half-measures Christmas, lockdowny Christmas. And so it's just really nice because I didn't get to see any of my friends last year and share like a Christmas gin.
And we had a very small Christmas because my in-laws couldn't come. And they're the other Danes.
Oh,
my word. Carrots, that is, Deborah.
Jess, would you like to help yourself with some carrots?
Yes,
Incredible.
Has anybody had a Christmas cooking disaster? Because one year where we go for Christmas, they put the turkey in the Aga and they put another turkey in an electric oven.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I'll let you do
And
that.
the Aga turned itself off, as Agas are wont to do.
Oh, no.
They'd taken the turkey out of the electric oven. It had gone cold. And they just thought, no one's going to notice if we put gravy on it and we put it on a hot plate and stuff. And they just pretended that hadn't happened. And then the next day revealed the Aga turned itself off. There was nearly no turkey.
Thank God they did the whole backup turkey because that's quite rare.
I have to say, can I just say one thing about Christmas food that I love?
Yeah.
Is the roast potatoes. They always taste different on Christmas. They taste better.
My mum makes the best roast potatoes.
Does she?
It's like cut glass almost, where it's like really hard and sharp on the bottom and then
I know
soft
what you
and
mean,
fluffy.
real crispy edge.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you know what I love is this cranberry sauce is mulled wine flavored. I mean, tell me now, this is so
Come
good.
on then.
Is it?
I do love that fig of Christmas of like
I'm
it's not
sniffing
just
it. It
something
smells of
normal.
Christmas.
It's like a little bit spiced.
Yeah, every
It's
time you think
beautiful.
there's no more possible variants on a Christmas theme, it
They
turns out there
come
are
out.
actually, guys, there are. That is yum.
Do you like
That is
smells
actually
as
good.
good
I
as it
don't
tastes.
normally
Doesn't it?
love cranberry sauce, but I really like it.
I love cranberry
Yeah.
sauce. Anything that tastes sweet. Do you have a Christmas disaster?
I'm going to leave you, Debs, for the great apologies.
My Christmas
Thank you so much.
disaster
This is lush.
was one time a relative came round to our house He was going to a harvester the next day. Oh yeah, we're doing the fizz. Amazing.
I think it's time.
Oh my God, these potatoes are incredible.
So this man had no cooking plans for the next day or anything like that. He was going to a restaurant for his Christmas day dinner, but he got drunk, and my mum had prepared a Christmas ham for a few days up in the run up to Christmas.
Yeah.
He ate the whole leg of ham. He ate it all. And he got so ill from eating all that ham, he couldn't go to the restaurant the next day.
No.
So he was just ill in our house, and we had no ham. I still haven't forgiven him. I still resent him. It's been 6 years, and I still...
What did your parents say?
Oh, I mean, right, they had a lot to say after. It was very much... he's very much known now as the ham robber of our house. And we hide food when he comes. We just have to because he's just relentless.
Okay, we're going for
Do you want to pop it against my chest? I'm trying to pop it against my chest, which is a bit weird.
I'm a feminist, but I hear the sound of fizz popping, and I just whack them out. Just whack them out.
Well, they are the safest, it's like airbags to stop it.
Can I just ask about these roast potatoes? Because I am ever seeking...
The perfect roast potato?
Well, both that and also, as Guilty Feminist listeners know, I'm seeking to be more plant-based. I cannot...
Look at that.
I'm not plant-based, but I was trying to be more plant-based. Is this right that these roast potatoes are not goose fat? Because they're very coconutty. I've never tasted this before.
No, it's lovely, those.
They're Plant Pioneers coconut oil. Make the perfect roast potatoes. I've never tasted coconut with the potato, but it's really lovely. And it's nice to know no geese were harmed in the making of this exceptional roast potato.
Oh, Winterberry Bucks fizz is lovely.
Oh, let me have a go.
It doesn't taste alcoholic in a
I
dangerous
won't-
and
in a
delicious
very-
way.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
down.
They lead me actually to my I'm a Feminist part that I prepared for
nice.
today.
Great.
So I've got two, and they're both on this theme, Cindy. One is I'm a Feminist, but my favourite Christmas song, I'm ashamed to say, is Santa Baby. Which in karaoke, I do enjoy singing in a baby voice.
Is
Asking,
that what's unfeminist about it?
well, it's just sort of like,
It's a bit on the edge.
it's all very sort of breathy, sexy, please bring me toys, Santa. And it's all a bit sexualized, just strange and sort of a little corrupt, She's because she's getting extra presents out of Santa with
by being sexy to him.
by
which is
being
just a bit
like
weird.
cozying
I
up.
thought that
And you just go, that is not, it's not the most feminist Christmas song. Also, my other I'm a Feminist part is I'm a Feminist part. Christmas is definitely my favourite celebration of the year, although it just indisputably stars two men, Santa and Jesus. And I feel like who did the work for Christmas? Mary, pushing that baby out. Do we ever see the birth? No, we don't.
No.
What I would like to see
I
in
don't
future...
know how Christmassy watching that bit would be.
if I were directing a nativity at a school, that's what I would be like, look at it. This is what women have to do to push babies out. And I would have the full, in a manger, by the way.
What, just Mary on all fours going, oh.
Yeah,
By the way, that's
mooing
not having
like
a
a cow.
negative impact on cranberry sauce sales.
I'm just saying. I want to see a mooing like one of the cattle. Maybe there weren't no cattle lowing. Maybe that was Mary, because they tell women moo like a cow, don't they, when you're having a baby? Maybe the wise men just heard it and thought, oh, there's cattle in there lowing. No, it's Mary giving birth, mate. Because it's hard, and she did all the work, and she gets no cred for that. It's just, you just cut to her going, oh, can I stay in the hotel? No, there's no room in the hotel.
Yeah.
You should have booked an Airbnb. All right, well, in you come. And then cut to, oh, there she is with the baby in her arms. No. Giving birth at a stable is with no proper medical staff.
No.
It's not easy.
Well, you've managed to get one up there with no physical intervention from another human. Surely you don't need any help coughing it out.
What I will say is one of the most traumatic parts of the nativity for me after I had children was to realize she's just given birth and she's surrounded by men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men who, my mother was so upset that I had a male OBGYN.
Right.
Because she said, why you have someone there who has never
Is that
done
like
and will never do?
obstetric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she even told him off. She said, but why you took this specialty? Are you pervert? You will never have a baby. I was like, Mom, you need to stop talking. That she felt, and all in India we feel this, when you've had a baby for 40 days, they like you to be around women.
Right.
Because they get it. So frankly, Mary was surrounded by men. And there were animals, which was fine. But men, what do they know about having a baby?
I know. If you look at the gifts that they brought, what was it? Frankincense, gold, and
Yeah,
myrrh.
but they bought
Where
those
was the pain relief?
Where's the lanolin? Where's
but
the
yeah.
shields?
because
Where's the nappies?
Well,
dude,
wise
those were
women
gifts.
would have brought those.
They would.
But wise men just brought a load of impractical
stuff.
stuff.
Become wise unless we don't get them in? Well, we have childbirth as part of Yuletide Nativity series in school.
Is
Exactly.
all I'm
Absolutely
suggesting.
right, Deborah.
That's all I'm suggesting.
And also, they bought those gifts to curry favor with Jesus. It had nothing to do with Mary.
Oh yeah.
It's one of
he
those
was,
gifts.
he was not yet sentient.
No.
Alison, do you have an I'm a feminist spot?
I do. Right there. I love this because I'm eating food and I have to wash it down with gin. What a life,
It's
you
great.
know?
I'm a feminist and I'm having a fourth pig in black.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Let me take a potato and send this over to you.
I'm a feminist, but when I was a kid, I used to pull apart my mum's tampon applicators and pretend they were Christmas crackers. Which is not
They were very
so
silent.
it's Christmas all year round for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
she
well-
did not appreciate it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Are you going to do a I'm a feminist, but?
Yeah, I've got some.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? I'm a feminist, but the only year I ever watched the Queen's speech, she had such a beautiful, slutty red lipstick on that it gave me a kind of pant party.
Whoa!
And that's not what I was expecting. I was hoping for a moment of boredom, a moment of calm. No, she looked smoking hot.
Oh, wow.
What
So
year
you
was this?
I've
You
never
had a-
ever fancied her at any other time. And
Well,
I'm not saying I've not got form for that. I used to get quite severely bullied at school for as soon as I admitted that I sometimes fancied Gandalf. A little bit of kind of geriatric fawning, but it's the only time. It was extraordinary. And I don't know, that was a confusing moment. I'm a feminist, but
Yeah.
I believe you should spend the rest of your life in jail if you are one of those people that goes beyond the designated day in their advent calendar. Rules are rules, bitch. Stay in the lane.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh
That's
my
so wrong.
God. When I was
Wow.
a nanny, the advent calendar wars for those children.
That is when you're allowed to hit a child. Did they?
No, and that is factually and legally not true, Jess.
Yes,
not true, Jess.
Factually and legally.
Factually not true. You
This
must
is
not.
the opinions of the podcast, the BBC,
Sainsbury's.
Only me. You may hit a child if they've eaten the 14th day on the 13th day.
You may not, but you may feel driven to but you must stop yourself. I didn't care about any of it, but the children would raid each other's advent calendars in the future. So they were too clever to have tomorrow's. They'd have like the 23rd or whatever. You know, they'd go right up to the wire.
They were prepared to ruin the 23rd.
Yeah, because what they do is then
That's wrong.
they'd push it back down. They'd put a bit of tissue paper or something in it. So the child who was being stolen from
That's so rude.
would not
So
see
bad. I think it's so
because they'd just be looking for tomorrow's,
bad. We've
right?
accidentally told another sad story.
Do you know what this is like? This is like the boomer generation stealing from the young and making them pay for their college and everything like that to
Yeah.
pay for their pensions.
Advent calendar rules. They're a really simple way once a year to hold on to something that's predictable and sane.
Yeah.
And that there's a happy ending at the end.
Yeah, totally. A
You
biggest
see,
drop.
because otherwise I think life is so unpredictable, especially
Yeah.
when you're a kid. In many families, and mine definitely, it was not necessarily sane all the time. And there was none of this business where kids were explained what was going to happen. And no, grown-ups were grown-ups and we just kind of glommed on. So when you had a rule on 1 year for whatever festival, that this was the rule, you held on to it because you were like, I know where this starts, I know where this ends, I know who I am. It's great. And then if you go and mess with that,
Yeah.
then
Who are you?
that's just not on. It's just not on.
It was a bonding moment for my girlfriend and I when we both admitted that we were the sorts of people who felt a real fear and hatred of people who'd gone ahead in their advent calendars.
That was no, but that, you know what?
And we
That's
were like,
also
I'm
very.
so glad you said that, because if it turned out you were one of those people, that would be us.
That would be
That'd
bad.
be the end of
But
this
also,
road.
you know, it's very low quality.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you?
It's very low
savage?
stakes.
It's very low quality.
Yeah.
It's like, what you're gonna, you know, what next? You're gonna sell your kids? What's next for you?
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery
Yeah, it's a
slope. If
slippery
you
slope.
can't respect this one thing, what are you gonna do next?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're going to rob a bank. That's the kind of reasoning my father would have when we were children.
Oh,
It was
really?
like, going ahead in your advent calendar everyone who robs a bank at one point robbed an advent calendar.
calendar.
Really?
And I think it was a
can you
weird,
doubt
it was
it?
an oddity that I was like that, because my younger siblings, I have lots of half siblings that I got in my teens, and they couldn't care less. They ate all the advent calendar. I had my dad's younger kids as toddlers one Christmas got up before all the adults and opened everything under the tree.
No.
Later that day, my little sister wasn't getting enough attention because everybody was talking. She did a wee wee in the dog's water bowl.
Nice.
Yeah. How did I come out so rulesy?
That's a conversation starter, though. That's
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
in the
Firstborn.
toilet bowl.
That's because you're the firstborn.
Yeah, maybe.
Firstborns have no one standing in between them and their parents, so they think the parents'
It's my
faces
buffer.
are their world, and they say, "What can we do? What can we do to make you smile?"
Well, that's a great incentive for me to have no more children.
I am the second kid, and I tell you what, I let my sister take all the grief while behind her back I did what I wanted. I did.
Gosh.
I mean, you know, if you can't, and she always wanted my parents to see her reasoning.
Yeah.
I just lied and did what I wanted. I was like, I don't care what reasoning they have. For years, she resented me for it, but then I realized afterwards that she was the more honest person,
Yeah.
even though she was much more considered a troublemaker. I was like the good girl, but I was like, okay.
You can hide. I'm middle child, and I
hide all
do.
the time.
While I have my middle child gripes, I will admit that first children have to sort of break the barrier of being allowed to go to the school disco and be dropped off by a parent's friend or something like that. So it's
really
much
true.
like
I
the
remember-
first one is like.
yeah, yeah.
I
well,
remember watching my little brother as a toddler say to my dad, "Can I have a knife?" Like out of the drawer. And he was getting a knife to go and cut the heads off flowers in the garden. Like, and he was like, "Can I have a knife?" Dad, but no, of course you can't have a knife. You're 5. And he went, "Can I have a knife?" And Dad said, "No." I said, "No." He went, "Can I have a knife?" And Dad said no in a tone that even at this point,
You
I was
got
in my
scared.
30s, I shook with fear. And not, you know, but just this like, oh, he said it like this, like, no, you know. And then my little brother went, "Can I have a knife?" And eventually my dad went, "Oh, go on then." Things really changed. That is not, oh, come on.
What are you doing? Anyway, I'm a feminist, but
Oh,
Yay!
yes.
I'm a feminist, but when my husband and I had the same job, if the Christmas present he gave me wasn't more expensive than what I gave him, I always thought I'd married badly.
Wow.
wow. And how did you know what it cost? Because I would never Google how much
It's
Tom
not-
had spent
you
on
just
me.
know.
You
Depends on the thing.
you just know.
Well, it's got to be something that I don't have to worry. It's just obvious that it's more
I
expensive.
know my partner Googles the things. I get her to see how much they were.
Wow.
No.
Wow. I've never done that, but
No,
I will
but you
start.
don't have to,
I will
right?
start.
Like if you give someone a nice wallet and they give you diamond earrings, you don't have to Google that.
No, I suppose so.
And if
I
the
suppose
diamond
so.
earrings are in the box from the shop, you say fine.
My husband's never given me diamond earrings, and now I am going to ask why.
Well,
Well,
it's
take
a
one
very
look at
valid
your
question.
diamond-studded wallet, Deborah, and you'll know why. Set the
But you know-
bar too high.
And I mean, I think because we earned the same money and that was fine, but you know, deep down, we earned the same money then, but we know as a rule that's not what happens. You're a man, you have to spend more on me because society is taking more out of me.
I
Well-
feel so much less bad about Santa Baby now. he can slip some diamond earrings under the tree for me in the school of Sinju v feminism. Excuse me, Santa. I believe Mrs. Claus makes 79 pence on the pound. So, where's my...
And also, you know,
Here's my
full
diamond.
marks to my husband for having understood that without ever being discussed.
Can I ask what anybody's best or worst Christmas present ever was?
Yeah. I got my best present. My boyfriend made me a set of earrings from my favorite painting, which is Saint Bernard praying while Mary, Mother of God, lactates into his mouth. So one is like Mary holding out her boob, lactating, and the other one is Saint Bernard with an expression that's kind of like, what can we do?
Is it one of those strange archaic sort of Renaissance paintings where you go, what's going on there?
Yes,
It's Renaissance porn.
Yeah,
it's Renaissance
sort of strange Renaissance stuff where it's like, oh, why is someone lactating in someone else's face?
That's
but
a
it
cool
just is
present.
how it is.
The worst present I've been bought is my grandma. She gives me back my clothes I've left at her house as a present in a bag, wrapped up in a bag.
Wow.
And once she bought me, when I was about 9, she bought me a thong with the words Capricorn across it. I think she didn't know it was a thong.
What, like a G-string?
A G-string.
Pants.
I know.
When you were how old?
String pants.
9 years old.
Oh my God.
And the
she
worst bit
goes
is,
a thong.
I'm a Gemini. It's terrible.
Fantastic.
Oh, no, I'm a Gemini.
I think my best is Tom does brilliant presents. That what he does is he will remember, if I tell him like, oh, I read this book as a child, but you can't get it anymore. Or, I used to watch this TV show, but I don't know the name of it, but it had it had a talking horse in it or something like that. He will then spend years looking on eBay for that thing. When he finds it, he will buy it, and that year it will be in my Christmas stocking.
Wow.
So it will be like an out-of-print book, or the film that made me cry in year 7 on the last day of school when they did one of those film days, but all the other children were just talking and laughing and not watching the film, and I'm sitting there on my own crying at Captain's Courageous, as the only child watching it and sobbing my heart out, and have never seen it since. And he'll put that in my stocking. And I think those things are really romantic.
Very lovely.
Yeah.
Because that thing may have cost 10 quid off eBay, but it was the hours that you had to put in and the things you had to put on to find it. And my worst is, my grandmother was not a great gift buyer.
Now as I'm coming out of this.
And
Nelly glory.
This is a real kind of, maybe one of the spurs for my feminism. She used to give my sister and me, when we were small children, things for our hope chest, which was, when you get married, you're going to need a lovely set of crockery and,
It's like a dowry.
A dowry, exactly. You're going to need, and so I was 4 and I would get like a milk jug. But sometimes she would do a thing where but you're a child, so I'll get you a milk jug in the shape of Cinderella or something like that. But I'm like, I don't want a milk jug now. And I'm not going to watch a Cinderella one when I'm grown up. So this is for nobody. And I remember once, I hated it. One of the things she got me so much, it was so ugly, that when I was cleaning up my my cupboard, and I had to kind of, my mum had made me clean my room, I accidentally on purpose let it fall. And I went, oh dear, it's broken. Because it was so, she used to buy me this stuff that I'm just like, I'm 7, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why do I want a cheese grater? Like, this is just, well, one day you will, and then you'll have a complete set to marry your man with. And I was like, I have no intention of doing this thing that you think I'm going to do. And I'm married a man that cooks for me. So I was right. Thank you, Grandma.
Oh, these bowls. These bowls are wide. I love it.
Ramekins.
Oh.
I'm quite excited because
Yeah, what's it say on the menu?
I don't normally love Christmas pudding. So I'm hoping I love this one. But if I don't, there's panettone, which I do love. There's like a Prosecco and orange panettone, which sounds amazing. And there's a cookie pie, which I've already had one. They are unbelievably excited. Well, I think a lot of people think never mess with a mince pie, and they're wrong on this front. Yeah,
oh my
because
gosh.
they're really amazing. Who likes Christmas pudding? Because I'm like, I have it once a year because that's the thing to have.
Yeah.
But I'm much more rather have a panettone or a mince pie or trifle.
Will we do our top 3 of the main Christmas sweet things, which is mince pie, Christmas cake, and Christmas pudding?
Yeah.
Christmas cake for me, a very, very
This
low
shag,
third.
Shag, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Shag, marry, kill.
Shag, marry, kill.
Okay.
Christmas sweet stuff. I would kill Christmas cake. I dislike Christmas cake. Are you a big Christmas cake person?
I'm not Oh, I mean, this is no use to anyone. I'm not sure how interested I am in any puddings, but a mince pie I would happily marry or make love to.
Nice. Yeah.
So you would shag a mince pie and then marry it?
Yeah,
or
I'd spend the rest of my life with a mince pie.
maybe you should make an honest pie of it first and then shag
Make an
it.
honest
Given
pie
you know
of
you're
it,
going
then
to.
I'll shag it, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you'll
then,
make it work.
then you're going to kill all other Christmas desserts.
And all other desserts for all
Oh
the other
no,
seasons.
come
Whoa!
on.
Over all
I
desserts.
kill, the more there are left for everybody else.
You do the Hoovering podcast. How can you kill all desserts?
Yeah, I would shag, so that I can say. I would shag a. Look, here's the thing. For sex to be fun for me, it's got to be complicated.
Okay. Oh, wow.
No.
Wow.
So I
Love to hear
would
it.
shag a mince pie that had warm brandy butter poured all over it.
yeah, okay.
Oh.
You got me there.
That's the shagging.
I'm interested. Really
Wonderful.
nice.
Marrying?
Yeah, what are you looking for in a marriage now? with
I
her?
would marry a proper
Strong
Christmas
political
pudding
connections.
Yeah.
stuffed with pound coins.
Wow, yeah.
That's on brand, I have to say, for you, Santi.
I would, because marriage was created as an institution for financial stability of men.
Yeah.
And I think it was great for it to be financial stability for women. So you give me a Christmas pudding stuffed
full of
with
pound
pound
coins.
coins.
Yeah.
I will marry that.
Yeah.
I will marry that.
And kill?
Oh, trifle. Are you joking?
Oh, I agree.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh my
On the
God.
gravelly
Well,
bit.
we are not going to be, if we go out on the town, on the pool,
Yeah.
for
For
Christmas
these
puddings,
Christmas puddings. Yeah.
luckily,
None of us are gonna be going
we're not
back to
going
the
to
same
fight, I'm not
pudding.
going to fight you for your
No.
guy.
Yeah.
Because,
Agreed. It's a
slash
perfect friendship.
gal, I'm not going to fight you for your lover because I would shag, in the words of Fleabag, a slutty little trifle.
Okay, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, that's the sex fest. It's kind of, it's the jelly, it's the cream,
It's
the
moist.
cake, it's
Oh,
moist.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Sorry, I know many people don't like that word, although they don't seem to
But
want
it
moisture.
describes it
It's a
perfect.
good word. Moist
Yeah.
is what everyone needs.
It describes
A lot of people
trifle,
hate
it describes good
They
sex.
have
It's
It
a
describes
very
it
good-
very
it's a
complex.
they have
complexion.
phobia about it. People have a phobia. I don't. But people
Of the
do.
word moist.
People have. You've said it again, and some people are turning off. They're like,
Saying it.
"Stop!" Yeah, they don't like it. You've
whoever
got the phobia,
these
haven't you?
Dried out people are, I feel for them.
It's just the sound of the word they don't like. I don't know. Did you have Santa when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we had, so in India, the Christmas we had Christmas cake. It's very English,
Yeah.
a Christmas cake, and it had all these dried fruits in them, like
Yeah.
jelly fruits. And you had custard. And we had Santa, and we had the Santa tree. And India is very Catholic. I mean, 22 million Indians are Christian. There's a lot of Christianity,
yeah,
so
of
it's very
course.
Santa. It's
No,
very
Wow.
the reason
look
I'm
at that.
asking, Sindhu, is, and this is, if you are listening to this with anyone who has a special relationship with Santa, you might put your headphones in or turn this off.
Yeah.
When did you find out that Santa was a lovely, lovely idea, but perhaps, and again, in case someone hasn't turned this off, not as real as
got a good
you've been led
story
to believe?
I
about
got
how
a
I
good
found
one.
out.
Please tell us.
I was very sceptical, and this ages me, but I was of an age where everyone was still writing checks as a way of payment, and I'd witnessed adults proving things in that way. So I, deeply sceptical, but still holding out hope, put a notice on my bedroom door on Christmas Eve saying, "Dear Father Christmas, if you exist, prove it by signing here." And I put signed, and I did a dotted line. The sad news is, by the time my dad came to put my stocking at the end of my bed, he was so shit-faced. I'll give you an alternative. He was so bladdered that he just saw the sign here, ... And it, bless him, went along with it and signed it with his actual signature.
Oh,
Very clear, Keith Colin Fosterkew. Keith Colin Fosterkew.
Amazing
that's so
work.
sweet.
Dreams shattered.
I should totally believed in Santa,
Yeah.
and I didn't like seeing my presents. My brother would always sort of break in and,
Find them,
sort of
yeah.
trying to find his presents, but I was like, oh, look away, look away. And my mother used to keep the school labels to put on our books with our name and things up on a certain shelf. So I went up to get one of those and I saw something that could have been a present box, looked like a toy. So I looked away because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want my surprise spoiled.
Yeah.
What an adorable child, you're all thinking. Yes, halo fully attached. Anyway, we used to have a pillowcase instead of a stocking. And in this Christmas stocking was that toy. Oh. And I asked myself, why would Father Christmas be hiding my presents in my mother's cupboard?
Yeah.
And the scales fell from my eyes that morning. But I don't remember being upset about it, more like, okay.
Got it.
But my mother made it clear as we got older that Santa didn't come to people who didn't believe in him. So the illusion.
That's a clever little
the illusion
Swiss,
was
isn't it?
kept. Yes, but because she would say to all of us, because my brother was 4 years younger than me, and I was 4 years younger than my sister. So she would say to all of us, well, Santa doesn't come to anyone who doesn't believe in him. So everyone kept the illusion up for the little one.
Wow.
And I mean, he came for a very long time for that reason.
Yeah.
Until we joined a religion that outlawed Christmas, and then that sort of was
not
kibosh.
so-
Do you think that was half of the reason why your mum joined that religion?
But we did have one official last Christmas, and we hid the Christmas tree in my brother's bedroom, so the people from that religion wouldn't see when they came around.
No.
And we had a secret underground Christmas.
True secret Santa.
Secret
Totes
Santa.
underground Christmas,
Yeah.
which we hid from
Gosh.
those who were converting us to the no Christmas religion. That was the last one. That was the final.
I was embarrassingly old when I found out that Santa didn't exist.
Oh, I love it. I love these stories when people are like 22.
Yeah, it was like, well, so maybe when I was about 7, someone in school told me that Santa might not exist. And I asked my mum about this, and she was like, oh, no, he absolutely does exist. And then Santa wrote me a letter that Christmas to say, Alison, I've been hearing that you've been having
my Lord.
doubts about me, and just to say that I am absolutely real. Signed, Santa. And I'm like, this
Signed.
is
Signed.
Signed Keith.
Colin. Signed Keith.
Keith.
Dorset, England.
I love Mr. Keith.
And I absolutely believed in Santa then for so many years after. I was, I think, 12 going on 13. And I was going into secondary school that year, and I came downstairs Christmas Eve, and it was about like 10 o'clock at night, and I saw my dad put presents under the tree.
Oh my God.
And I was like, like Santa doesn't exist. He goes, yeah, now help me. And I had to help him then set up my sister's toys and everything like that.
You became Santa the minute you found out about.
Exactly.
Well, that's nice in a way.
It's
because
very-
it passes the mantle on.
But it's very weird to know that, like, you know, I was menstruating and still believing in Santa. Like, that's a very small Venn diagram.
That's a very small
you
Venn
know?
Have you tried this brandy cream?
This is
The brandy
genuinely-
cream is genuinely. Can I just drink the brandy?
I was going to say, how much
I
is
told you
there
about
of
the
that?
complicated sex. I told you.
With
Yeah,
this
this
brandy
is
cream
good,
and whatever this-
complicated sex, this
What is
pudding.
this? What is this?
It's the best Christmas pudding I've had, and that's so insulting to the Christmas puddings I've had that have been like
Winterberry-
soaked for 8 years by Uncle Mike.
various
Yeah.
mothers and grandmothers. It's Winterberry clementine and gin Christmas pudding, and I might transfer my marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas
it's too
bud.
late.
It's so good.
Well, listen, I have to say, I think your dad pulled off that Band-Aid well.
Yes. Wow, hi.
Yeah.
Hello. Little bit of fruity bread beside me.
So,
When did you
my
realise?
Santa thing, and I want to preface this by I have talked about this on a show, so it's true, and that show is now out.
So you don't make it sound like that everything we say on a show is true.
No, but I have to say, people say, "Oh my God, you know, she just said
Yeah,
this
yeah.
in a show." Yeah, but it's a fact. We grew up with Santa, but you have to remember, I grew up in India with Santa. Can I just explain? Even as a child, okay, Indian Santa. First of all, Indian Santa is never white, okay?
Right,
Because
yeah,
he's
yeah.
yellow, but he knows he should be because of books and all. So all Indian Santas used to go out, put powder on their face, and go out.
No.
And it was quite warm. So you would see this sweat and powder running down their
Oh my
face.
God.
Sometimes it would
Melting
run into
Santa.
their eyes, and they would be on the street corner going, happy, because 1 second, they'd be spitting powder out of their mouth and saying, Happy Christmas. So even as a kid, you were like, that's weird.
Brilliant.
Secondly, I want to say, you know how India, you know how Santa rather is supposed to be fat and jolly.
Yeah.
Well, in India, if you were eating enough to be fat and jolly, you didn't take the Santa job.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That's cruel world. We had these really thin
so the thing is,
Santas.
I have met hungry-looking
Oh no, Hungry Santas is not a popular children's game.
Also, if you did pass Santa and
Yeah.
you were eating an ice lolly or something, my mom is so good. Look, Santa is so hungry. Give the ice cream, and I had to give my ice cream to Santa. I was like, this is not cool. I don't like Santa, and he's not real. Thirdly, see, in India, English is a language spoken mainly by elites, and Santa, let's be honest, was never an elite. So he thought, ho, ho, ballpark. I've had Santa come to me and say, ha, 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 like Dracula. I was
close to her.
ha, ha, ha. So by the time I was not that old, I was like, Santa can't be real because this guy is like,
Wow.
in the summer, he's fixing cars. This is not Santa. So I had no illusions about Santa, let me be very clear. But, and when my husband first went for his first December to India, he said to me, this is not Santa. And I said, but it's our Santa. And he's like, how does any child here believe in Santa? I'm like, we don't. We just think it's a thing.
Wow.
It's one of those
It's a
things.
fun thing.
It's like, look, Hinduism is full of mythology. You think, chalo, you have a god whose face is the elephant, you have a god whose face is monkey, then chalo, you have this Santa. Very good.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just bring the presents.
Yeah.
So that's how I don't know, but I never believed in
I'm
Santa.
going in for a cookie dough mince pie. You've already tried it.
I have tried a cookie dough mince pie because I've tried one before and I'm back for more.
Oh, what?
It's so good.
So that's the Santa story.
Incredible.
This is flipping delish. That
I
bread.
want one of these on my own, but I just want a day where all I eat
Yeah.
is this panettone and this brandy
Yeah.
butter.
This could be an alternative new Christmas Day breakfast because Christmas Day, all bets are off, right? And this is just like you wake up, it's straight to booze and bread and brandy cream. I think
And
that's
custard.
yeah.
Custard.
Yeah.
My mother used
incredible
to make
start.
custard when we were little, and I remember she was a great cook, and she used to make custard, and it was just warm custard. It's just
It's really
and so
medicinal,
wholesome.
isn't it?
So good.
Yeah.
What do you have with your family for breakfast on Christmas Day?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a good one.
We do smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, and I do
Oh, that
the
sounds
eggs. And we have it with fizz or Bucks Fizz.
We have smoked salmon and soup for lunch.
Ah.
Whoa.
For lunch? Oh, you have your
Yes, do.
Christmas dinner for dinner, do you?
Then in the evening, we all get dressed up
Yeah.
in posh frocks or whatever. And we have, Elizabeth always makes these
Elasticated
really
frocks, I
lovely-
hope.
So
Yeah.
I nannied for her children.
Okay, fine.
My family didn't celebrate Christmas. I was the nanny, so I was able to work on Christmas and be part of their Christmas tradition. So I have been subsumed into that family who were really lovely.
For Christmas ever
So
since.
ever
It's
since,
a really lovely thing.
Have you ever seen Brideshead Revisited when Nanny Hawkins lives in the attic? I'm somewhat, that's how I imagine my place in that family.
Yeah.
In no other way are they like Brideshead Revisited. They're really, really lovely family who always extend, Christmas invitations to other people. What my friend Joanna calls a waifs and gays Christmas, where if anybody's around who's, from abroad or whatever reason, not close to their family or near their family doesn't celebrate Christmas, they're very, very generous and hospitable. I really like the traditional way that they do Christmas.
Yeah.
I love the Christmas crackers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love the charades, traditional Christmas games.
Do you play the traditional games? Do you? I want to know as much about the games as I do, but I still also want to know what the other breakfasts are.
We always play games. There's usually one row over a game at some point during the Christmas period
fair.
where somebody storms out over a particularly
rule?
violent Scrabble rule or something like
Yes,
that. It's
okay.
like, no, if
Lovely.
you're going to be like that about it, that kind
Yeah, a bit of that. Don't laugh at me. Yeah.
There's usually one, not always a full row, but there's some tension over a game at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not implicated in that tension at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a bit
But
competitive.
games are for winning. What's the big deal?
Yeah, I can imagine. Remind me never to play anything for cash with you.
Games are for winning.
Games
That's-
are for winning.
that's
You don't sit down to play Monopoly to lose.
the unofficial motto of Christmas.
True.
Of course, it's nice to everyone be together, but games are for winning.
It's been lovely to have everybody here
Yes.
at the Guilty Feminist for Christmas.
Thank
And
you very much.
I say this as I continue to dip panettone into brandy cream.
It's incredible.
You know, I mean,
I'm
at
never
this
gonna
point,
stop.
I'm going to dip myself into this brandy cream.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's been
Delicious.
really
Thank you.
lush.
This
Thanks
has
for
been
having
great,
us.
and I love to hear the fact that Christmas, everyone is so different, but the Christmas feeling is the same on this table.
Yeah,
It
been
is.
lovely.
I definitely have too much of a Christmas feeling and need to get breathalyzed.
You get breathalyzed.
Yeah.
I need some bigger trousers.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oi.
know one thing I wanted to ask you that I didn't get to ask you.
Yeah.
Ask us.
Who did you play in the nativity? Did you have a nativity at school? Or
Oh,
Sunday school?
I really wanted to play Mary in the school nativity
Did you not do
play.
a show
All about that, yeah.
wanting to play Mary?
I got the part. So Mary for me is a great character in the nativity because she's the only female speaking role. And a lot like Hermione Granger in Harry Potter. You know, it's a
Yeah.
meaty role to have as a
Yeah.
woman. And my mum, every year I would try an audition, and my mum had like, I would call it 90s lingerie. It was like one of these kind of like
Oh no.
silky blue number, like a little short, had sleeves on it. So it was very Irish lingerie. Yeah, it's very, keeping it traditional. But I went in one day wearing her like silky robe to play Mary, and I got the role. But then I was doing a rehearsal, and I had my hands in my pockets, and the teacher, the director, said that I didn't look like I wanted it enough, and took the part off me
What?
and gave it to my friend.
Somebody ring equity.
I know, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
I know.
That's a terrible
Not
thing to do
on.
to a
It's really
child.
brutal.
My
Yeah.
friend had played Mary the year before,
yeah.
and I dropped
And
Jesus
she got
on
given it again.
She got given it again.
What did she do to
She
Jesus?
dropped Jesus on his head, and she got
Oh,
given a
no.
second chance at Mary.
Oh, no.
You know?
This
crumbs.
is you know, and I think, listen, about this nativity play thing, like in my school, all the really white kids did nativity. The rest of the kids, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't care. There wasn't a lot of talking. You know, everyone was just dressed in weird clothes and showed up
Yeah.
and stared into this box that was the manger and all that. I didn't care. But the thing is, when my kids were in school, I remember, and I have this video, and I should find it and show it to you guys. My son's first nativity play, yeah?
Yeah.
He was one of the people that are just there in like torn clothes. And, you know, he just came in with everyone else. My mom had attended this.
Oh.
And so I'm taking the video, and my mom is in my ear, and she says to me in Hindi, Iska role kya hai? Iska role kya hai? What's his role? And I said, I think he's one of the slaves or something. And she, you know, like she was like dressed in rags.
Oh no.
She says into the video, does principal know whose son he is making the slave? Is he a servant? My grandson is no servant. In the video, I'm like, yeah. So the video is going like this when you watch it. My mom is like,
Wow.
take me to the principal. Does he know whose grandson he's making a servant? I'm not saying कि मेरे बच्चे को Jesus बनाओ. I'm not saying make my child Jesus. No. But at least make him one of the kings. I will give own gold. I will give my own gold. The whole thing. And I'm like, Ma, you need to be quiet. And then when my husband that evening was like, did you take a video? Can I watch it? I'm like, be my guest.
Be my guest. It's one of the best
What
videos
is
anyone's
going
ever
on?
made.
I'm like,
Nice.
There was a survey though a few years ago that said that children that played Mary had better lives in general. Then isn't that? So I'll find
love
it.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how big that survey is,
No.
but you know.
But that's probably to do with other factors like their mother, was donating to the school. Do you know what I mean? Like there's probably other social factors. Listen, it's been absolutely amazing
Yes.
having you at our Guilty Feminist Christmas. I have really enjoyed the company. I have enjoyed the food. I cannot lie. I have enjoyed the cranberry blush gin liqueur.
Yeah, me too.
Cheers.
Cheers, lads. Cheers. Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone, except the picture.
That's it.
Well, that's a wrap on the Guilty Feminist Christmas party, all puns intended, with Sainsbury's and their incredible Christmas range. I'll be honest and say I've not stopped thinking about those Taste the Difference cookie cut pies or eating them. Maybe that's why I keep thinking about them. They're right here. Jessica is right. They are worth marrying. I hope you enjoyed being with us back together again. You can create your own Christmas to savour by heading over to Sainsbury's store or online. They are our lovely sponsors. Yum, yum. And happy holidays, everybody.